Okay, recording this video after close trade Tuesday, 10th of July 2012. Well, I hope everybody got on board some of that action today. 25-point range, top to bottom. Nice little trending down day. And I did say on the weekend's video we were going to have a little bit of strength on Monday into a turning point kind of mid-Monday to Tuesday, and that's exactly what we got. So this is Tuesday's activity here. This is Monday, this is Friday. Friday we had our sell-off. We're into a downtrend here. We'd had our exhaustion buying, bearish divergence kind of come in, Rambo patterns right at the highs up here, 4th of July kind of week during that week, and then we had pullback. We didn't make pullback to end of trend. We broke through the pullback level into this strong downtrend day, and so we were having this little bit of a bounce into a pullback to a downtrend. That's what I was looking for, and that's why we're going to have a little bit of strength into that turning point, and we hit it on Tuesday just at the open. Bang, we had a little bit of a ramp up kind of pre-open, and that was 25 point down move day. Don't think this is over, because yeah, we've had end of trend kind of come in some blue professional bars at the end of the day. We've got to see exhaustion selling on the downside before this move is over, so I could well see us breaking through that support level into a bigger kind of trending move. And you know, I've been kind of bearish all over this after the weekend's video. You know, that 20.120 target on euro just looks like it's there for the taking. But let's just roll through some of these charts. On the lower time frame charts, you can see this. This is Tuesday and Monday's activity. Monday was really tricky, very low range day, only about 7 points top to bottom. I lost money on Monday, just kind of quit just because I couldn't find any trend moves to jump on board. But anyway, what we've had into Tuesday's open was a complex correction on the way up. You can see all these support and resistance levels don't get broken. We don't break into a trend move. We have a complex correction on the way up, and then, I mean, it was really kind of ramped up a few hours before the open, but we came into exhaustion buying, whole bunch of blue professional bars kind of coming in there right at the open. I took two trades, short at 55.25 first thing in the morning, just after this kind of ramp up. It was exhaustion buying, bearish divergence, and then second cyclical turn after that activity on the 1500 tip bar chart. You could see it was weakening in terms of bearish divergence moves kind of coming in, all those blue professional bars. And on lower time frames, we had on the 500 tip bar chart pullback to end of trend with exhaustion buying, bearish divergence, second cyclical turn after that move, because once we have that on our left shoulder or on an end of trend, I'm looking for the second cyclical turn after that. And then we had this little amateur up bar here, just showed the amateurs were trying to get long there, got short the break of that bar, and then it turned into a downtrend. There was probably a lower risk entry point here, which is kind of entering, you know, coming back, support becomes resistance, Rambo patterns with a little blue professional bar here into this downtrend move, but that was nice, and I got out at pro signal exit 4 points at 51.25 on this first kind of leg down. And then the move was so strong, as soon as we saw a retracement here, we had blue professional bars kind of come in, jumped in, went short at 48 on the 500 tip bar chart. That was this activity here. We had Rambo patterns into these blue professional bars right there. I was late kind of getting into that. I got in at 48 just because this moved down really quickly, and I was hoping that it was going to be a pullback and a downtrend signal on 1500 tip bar chart, and that kind of signaled later on during the day here, where we had this retracement again into, you know, exhaustion buying, bearish divergence flush pattern right there. Blue professional bars, Rambo patterns, turns around, kind of goes down again. On the 4500 tip bar chart, yeah, pullback to end of trend signals, but we hadn't had exhaustion selling on the downside. That exhaustion selling has now come in on this less kind of shoulder with bullish divergence. We're making pullback to end of trend. So not sure what we're going to do kind of first thing on Wednesday, whether we're going to have a little bit of a bounce from here. But these longer term charts, just, you know, 40,500 tip bar chart, we've got to see, you know, exhaustion selling on the downside, and I just think we're going to have some big down days. I've been saying that for a while. Just as trend oscillators have turned over. We're into down moves on here, and you know, the last couple of days we closed towards the highs of these last couple of days here. You can see this activity. We're closing on the highs on the Friday as well. But note, each of these days was negative readings on this adjusted trend value down here. So here's the zero value. This one, let me just try and pick these up. This one was minus 61, and this one was minus 123. So although we closed up on the day, we closed, you know, the close was greater than the open, and we closed at the high of the bars. You know, the majority of their activity during that day was selling. So those are the professionals just gaming it up at the end of the day to look like it's strong and so on. We've had a lot of kind of amateur up bars and amateur up bars on weekly charts lately, and so that's why I'm thinking that this is just the beginning of this kind of move. We're minus 68 on the trend oscillator. We've got a little bit of time to go before this kind of comes up, but we've got put in bearish divergence here, so I think this might be quite big. So better trend line. We're also right here, congestion zone, white bar with today's activity, right in the apex of this kind of rising and falling trend lines. So look for this thing to potentially drop. So yeah. Just a little note on better X trend. On Sunday's video, the data, because of the July 4th during the week, the data was a little bit messed up on TradeStation, and they'd actually shown a bar here that kind of got corrected later on. So when I refreshed my chart on Monday morning, that bar had gone and it was trailing that stop up on better X trend and had switched us into a downtrend. So just a little bit of a note like that. Sometimes you get these little kind of glitches, and I still haven't seen commitment of traders data from last week, although I think the data is out just because TradeStation gets sometimes slow on putting it into the system, and I don't want to. Yeah, you can refresh your charts, but you can also delete data and get kind of, and I don't want to go through all of that. Anyway, going on, Euro chart, here we are. So this is the weekly chart here, and we've had our exhaustion selling on the downside, but we've not seen any bullish divergence, and we're breaking through this support level here. And then 120 is kind of within sight, and then who knows after that where it might go. So that's kind of looking really weak. The US dollar's kind of looking strong, and gold just on a bunch of charts we've had this weekly amateur up bar kind of testing back up, and we're kind of coming back down. I don't think we're breaking into a downtrend on gold on the weekly chart here because we're below support here, and we just kind of tested back up. And we've not seen exhaustion selling on the downside to kind of reverse this. So gold going down is kind of US dollar kind of going up. The only thing that is a little bit tricky is on the bond charts on US bond 30-year, 10-year, and so on. Quite a lot of Rambo amateur up bars into these new highs. So that's kind of not particularly good, but. Bigger picture, I still think, because we're going to break through this end of trend support line, and I think we'll break into another kind of trend move on the way down. So let's see where this goes, but it was a nice day for me. Hope you traded it well. Short 55.25, short 55.25. Just checking my stops and targets. And reason for going short, so we had quite a bump up pre the open into exhaustion buying, bearish divergence around a cyclical turning point. So when it happened like this, not waiting for pullback to end of trend, looking for second cyclical turn after end of trend. It's like a change in trend possibility. The difference is, the exhaustion was happening at a cyclical turn. Anyway, Rambo patterns into the open today, whole bunch of blue professional bars kind of lining up into 55, 56s. And then we've got bearish divergence kind of going on here. On the 500 tip bar chart, we were just pushing up here, amateur up bar, and we closed, okay, it's kind of going, just pushing up again. Probably should have waited for the next kind of cyclical turn. But anyway, so turning around here, so we've had pullback to end of trend, bearish divergence come in, second cyclical turn after that, and that kind of little bit of weakness there. And then 4500 tip bar chart, we've got a turning point kind of happening here after exhaustion buying. On the higher time frames, we're coming up to this pullback and a downtrend resistance on 40,500 tip bar chart at some point here. So hopefully that happens with this kind of exhaustion pattern here, cyclical resistance, 4500 tip bar chart, all these blue professional bars into that turning point. So see where this goes. Short 55.25. Yeah, it's good. A couple of minutes later, we've just now broken through support on the 500 tip bar chart. This looked like a falling through the ice type bar, kind of hang around it, blue professional bar kind of coming at the lows. Didn't initially break it, but we've broken down to 54s, so I think this has got a little bit of travel to go on the 500 now. So this is like just turning over into a bit of a downtrend on the 500 tip bar chart. So got the direction right. Hopefully we don't have too many kind of retraces. It's taking its time, but I'm looking 51 1/4 down here, so let's see, keep on breaking down please. Okay, a couple of minutes later, we came into a Rambo pattern down here, so Amateurs kind of shorting it too quickly there, so just bounced from there, a little bit of a bullish divergence, but we're underneath support on 500, so we're in a downtrend here, coming up to an Amateur up bar here, so underneath support becomes resistance, maybe turn around, kind of go the other way, potentially pull back in a downtrend area, so if we kind of break straight down to 54s, that'll be good, just going to get this thing going. It's kind of slowed down, no real news announcements kind of today, but on the higher time frame tip bar chart here, this turning point's kind of come in, pull back in a downtrend, so we've had this kind of 2-day rally since Friday, or day and a bit rally since Friday, so potentially we get kind of a continuation kind of coming down. That would be nice. We do have I think everything in place for that turnaround. Whether it's going to happen with this turn or the turn afterwards with the bearish divergence kind of coming in, don't know. Back up to 55, so yeah, let's just wait for this to kind of come in. Okay, so this is good. So we came up to 55, support becomes resistance here. It was a Rambo pattern into that. Pullback kind of comes in as well, pullback in a downtrend, and a blue professional bar kind of came in there. It's like a last opportunity to kind of get short, and we're coming down quickly from that, so that's good. Quick turn away from a kind of turning point like that feels good. So hopefully we'll head down to 50, 352s, kind of break through here, and people start to panic a little, hopefully, kind of get this thing going. There we go, kind of slowed down kind of initially. Okay, another Rambo pattern kind of down here. It's a little bit kind of choppy, but support will come in at some point, but let's see this play itself out. Pull back to end of trend, targets at 51.25, so we've still got a couple of points to go. Rambo pattern in there. Okay, well, it's not too bad, but if it was a blue professional bar kind of coming in after that. Another Rambo pattern here. See where the professionals kind of pick it up anyway, still holding short. Okay, a couple of Rambo patterns in on the 1500 and 500, and end of trend's kind of gone off here, but we've not had exhaustion selling on the downside to mirror this kind of exhaustion buying, so I still think we'll kind of continue on through. Got supports just going to pop up here on the 1500 tip bar chart, but again, kind of playing off this change in trend from here to here. So we've got to see decent 8,000 type readings on the 1500 tip bar chart for a pro signal exit. So let's kind of come through here, kind of keep going, get a little bit of a rush. Well, pretty big bounce. We had exhaustion selling on the 500 tip bar chart, and the blue professional bar came in there after Rambo patterns and support kind of coming in, so that's why we bounced. But it was minus 5,000. It's not the end of this move. We haven't seen bullish divergence on 500 tip bar chart yet, so hopefully they'll just use this opportunity. Another cyclical resistance kind of come down here, kind of keep on going through. We're just coming down, we kind of found that resistance. Blue professional bar kind of coming in. It's minus 3,000. Rambo pattern here, bullish divergence there. Just going to leave my target where it is, at 51.25. Hopefully just on a big kind of spike down, kind of come out. Just because it's second cyclical turn after end of trend, lining up with support here, and it's not convincing downtrend. I think we're going to test back up before really having a decent down move, so let's just hope for another kind of charge down. Just out 51.25. Excellent for 4. It's just gone through 50s, so that's fine. I'm happy with that. It's minus 10,000 on better momentum, 1500 tip bar chart, kind of exhaustion here. So I was just out kind of as it was showing up a Rambo pattern there, that's fine. Kind of pretty big readings, so I think we'll get a little bit of a bounce here. Kind of talking myself into why I shouldn't have stretched my target, but that's fine. So one shot, one kill. 9:05 AM, which is night. There we go. Pro signal exit. Blue professional bar exhaustion selling on the downside, about 8,000 on better momentum.